Alright, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy the Fader, back at y'all again with yet another video. And we're gonna continue this education. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, let's get into the lesson for today. And the topic of discussion is being in a traditional barbershop versus having your own barbershop / suite and being independent. Alright, so of course, as y'all know, I keep some notes on deck for y'all. So we're gonna start with the first one. The first one I got for y'all is being in a barbershop is like being in a jungle. Okay, so you might ask, the Fader, what do you mean by that? And I have to tell you this. Being in a barbershop is pretty much like life. Only the strong survive. You got so many people in the barbershop competing, especially depending on what shop you at. Me personally, I was always in barbershops that had at least 10 chairs in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in barbershops that had a lot of competition. You know, even in barber school, a lot of competition, or just a lot of people that want the same thing. So in that case, I should say, like, you have to keep your mind strong, because it's always gonna be adversity. That's just something that you're not gonna be able to get around, whether you're in a barbershop, whether you're in life, just going about your day. Even when you want to just grow and become better, you're gonna face adversity. And it's like being in a jungle. You know what I'm saying? You got barbers in there that might think you want to take their food, so they get ruthless and reckless and do whatever they can to, you know, get theirs. And I'm not saying you have to stoop down to their level. You just have to outthink those people, because in reality, it's enough out there for everybody to eat. You know, that's why I say it's like being in a jungle, because it's like people have different type of mindsets. You never know their background. You never know where somebody come from before you step into a situation. So you have to know who you are and be centered in order to grow and take what's yours. Because don't get it twisted. Being a barber is like any other business. It's business. So you got to take what's yours. Everything in this game is earned, not given. You know? So I want all the barbers out there, or aspiring barbers, or even whatever field of business you want to get into, just know everything in this is earned. It's not given. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to being independent, that's also like being in a jungle. Because being in a barbershop, at least a traditional barbershop where you get walk-ins and things like that, at least you get those walk-ins. Say if you come into a suite like this, okay, so a suite like this is under the state, it has to be licensed as a barbershop. You gotta pay taxes on this. You gotta have your barbershop license. You gotta have your barber's license, and you gotta keep up with all your payments. It's not a game. This is real. Just like in the and you gotta pay, you know, every week to month or bi-weekly, however you want to do it. You have to pay to stay. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay to play. You know, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way how the game is. You feel me? So, you know, you gotta stay on your business, even being in here. Because in here, in a suite like this, you gotta have your clientele. You need to have money. You need to have everything you need in order to sustain, maintain, and grow. You know what I'm saying? Because if you come in here and you don't think you gotta, you know, put in more work than actually being in a barbershop, then you're wrong. I'm just gonna tell you like that, you're wrong. So you want to come into a suite like this with your mind strong. That's the pros. This is like pros and cons. Maybe I did a video of this earlier. This is pros and cons part 2 if I did. If not, this part 1. This is a pro con video, as well as a, you know, this or that video, if you want to call it, like, you know what I mean? So basically, a pro of being in the pros, I should say, of being in a barbershop, at least one of them, you get walk-ins. If you in a suite like this, you don't have walk-ins. You know what you got to do? You got to get outside, got to roll your sleeves up. You got to, you know, like I said in other videos, present yourself looking a certain way, looking right, looking like you the one for the task that you are marketing to the people. And you got to get out here and go take what's yours. You know what I'm saying? Because in something like this, people don't walk in. This is stuff, you know, these doors this is very secluded. You know what I'm saying? So at least in a barbershop, you have that luxury of being able to sit down in your chair that you pay for and the money comes to you. Now, being in a suite like this, you know, you have social media, you have all these other avenues to market yourself at the same time. In my opinion, it ain't nothing, it's not a better feeling than you and me personally, the fader, me being a barber, going outside, talking to somebody and bringing them directly into the shop, sitting them right here in this chair and having them pay me for a service I provide. Same day. Like, I actually get a rush off that, you know, like that's actually like very invigorating, if that's the right word. That's very invigorating, you know what I'm saying, to be able to go outside, bring somebody in that I just met and have them sit in the chair and trust me to cut their hair. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a pro for being inside of a barbershop. Another pro for being inside of a barbershop, you get to learn from the other barbers that's there. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of different barbers that this barber might be good at doing lineups. This barber might be good at fading. And that barber might be good at designs. And you might just got out of school. So, like, unless you went to school and you already had people that was getting their hair cut by you for a few years and, you know, you got clientele, I would actually recommend going to a shop first. That's what I did. I went to a shop first. And that's where I learned how to hone my skills because, like, you know, school doesn't really teach you, at least in my experience, school didn't really teach me how to cut hair. Like, school taught me how to keep them clippers clean, how to clean my station, how to keep the shampoo bowl clean, how to clean up after myself in the shop, what to do with the razor, you know, all my utensils I use to make money. It taught me how to keep those clean so that I can perform my job in the proper manner on the client and I don't harm them, I help them. So I say all that to say, like, I would go to a barbershop if I'm fresh out of school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would definitely go to a barbershop if I'm fresh out of school because you get to learn more at a faster rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, you can always learn from yourself. It's just like, why not do it faster? Why not do it more efficient? Why not get the knowledge from somebody that's already been in the game? Because barbershops, they have OGs. If you go to a real traditional barbershop, you're going to run into at least one OG that know what they're talking about and that wants to help you. Don't get me wrong. That's why I said barbershops is like being in the jungle. There's going to be people in that barbershop that don't want to help you. They're going to look at you as straight competition, just like they did me. At the same time, it was always one person that was willing to help me. And even if the help was very minuscule on the outside looking in, to me, I took what they gave me, even if it was very minimal, and I amplified it and I put it into my craft and I put it into my repertoire and I made something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you never know who you can learn from. So that's why I would say every barber should get the experience of being in a barbershop and learning from the people and like sitting in the chair and like that. It builds character when you don't have any clients and then you finally get motion and momentum and you just keep building and you start getting your name out there in the community and people start knowing who you are. They call you by your name and they want to get you and you pen out them cards and then they start calling your phone and you start booking your appointments, you start getting your square thing and you start taking your money and you know what I'm saying? And like it just builds like, so I would recommend for all barbers to at least go to a barbershop and start out there. That's what I recommend. I wouldn't really recommend a barber to come straight here unless they been cutting for a long time. They know how to cut hair. If they self-taught or whatever, they just know how to cut hair. They already have a lot of clients. Cause like coming in here, it's like you're by yourself and it's like maybe a new barber that got a suite, they might have a client in their chair and then they might mess up their hair. And then like, if you were at a traditional barbershop, if you do that, you can go to another bar and be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Come help me out, you know what I'm saying? Cause I done, you know what I mean? Like we need to fix this. You got people over there to help you. Here it's just like, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to plan on that. I'm just saying, like, things happen. So it's just like, you know, you want to be prepared for whatever can happen. That's all I'm saying. So that's like pros. It's pros of being in a barbershop, you know what I'm saying? And you can say it's cons as well. I mean, in my opinion, depending on where you at in the game, the good outweighs the bad. It's just like, I feel like everything is levels to it. So if you're starting off on a certain level, you don't want to skip the steps. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to skip the steps because it's always something you can learn on each level, and it's always a stepping stool to help you get to where you want to go. So don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. You know, that's words from the fader. Wise words from the fader. Just, you know, ponder on that. Because, you know, you learn what to do and what not to do from whoever you're around. That was my next point. I just went on a tangent, and I just, you know, it's just, I'm passionate about that, you know, because this is a game where people get into it for the wrong reasons, whether it's for the money, whatever. Like, being in a barbershop, it help you like realize really what is really means, I should say, really what it really means to be a barber. Because it really is a craft. It's not just like a get money scheme. Like, it's really a craft. So if you're around the right people, it'll give you that sense of culture. And that's what the game needs. You know, that's what I provide to y'all through the camera. You know, even if I met you in person, I'll give you the game. You know, this is what I'm doing. I'm giving y'all the real essence of this game. Like, because I grew up in the barbershop. I get my haircut. Since I've been a kid, I get my haircut every week, at least week and a half. Barely did I go 2 weeks. I grew up in the barbershop. I learned a lot in the barbershop. And then I became a barber, and then being a barber actually enhanced me being a man. It helped me become a man, you know, because it's just like, it's the barbershop. Like, you just have to just, you know, be there, and y'all know what I'm saying. If you go to the barbershop, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of experiences, and you learn things about life from your barber. So I'm just saying, like, you want to really get that sense of culture so that you can give something to your clients. That's why people come to the barbershop. It's like therapy. You know, barbers are a lot of things in one. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So when you are in a barbershop, I'm going to say, like, you know, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. In a traditional barbershop, you have to be disciplined. Just because you get walk-ins, that don't mean you can just leave and come back and, you know, go do this and go do that. And, you know, you have to be disciplined. So that proves my point that I'm making right now. And I said before, when you actually are in a barbershop, that's a stepping stool to becoming independent. Because you start from ground zero and you work your way up to be the hero. You feel what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. So I say that to say, when you do elevate and become independent, your hustle got to go on times infinity. Like, it don't stop just because you leave a barbershop and you got your own shop, or you got a suite now and you think you are this and that. It's like, no, you got to be even more focused. Like, when I moved from my hometown to where I reside now, and I got into a shop, I'm at the shop 30 minutes before it opened, at least. I'm getting them hot towels ready. I'm cleaning my clippers. I'm smelling the morning air. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm drinking my water. I'm thinking, I'm pacing around the shop. I'm just getting it ready. I'm turning the music on, dusting, sweeping, mopping, whatever. Like, you need to be ready for your peoples that's coming. Even if you don't have peoples coming through, you need to be ready, because you never know who could walk through that door. So when you in the shop, me personally, I'm there 30 minutes early. I'm the first one there, last one to leave. When I first moved out here, I got into a barbershop. The dude that owned it, I was there before him every day. It wasn't a day I was not the first one there. Not saying it like, I'm just saying though, like, real talk though, like, people used to look at me like, Kenny, you're not gonna be late. No, I'm not gonna be late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be here. I'm the first every day. I'm getting here first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real though. I can count on one hand how many times I wasn't first. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was annoyed with me. I was so, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, that's the type of, you know, that's the type of job you have to have in order to be successful. Is, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that type of job, because if you don't have that job, when you do go independent, how you gonna sustain it without walk-ins? You gotta be out here in these streets and you gotta hustle, you gotta grind, you need to go take what you want. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. We live in America. Capitalism. We live in America. Like, this ain't that, you know what I mean? Like, no, like, you need to be out here doing what you need to do every single day. So, I know I just went off on a tangent. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is, you know what I mean? Like, when you go to a barbershop, it shows you how to maneuver in the game and find your own way and plant your feet on the ground, however you want to say it, so that you can make a name for yourself. So then when you do go independent, you already got everything under your belt. All you have to do is just put the knowledge to the test and then ace it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm in here, thank God. You feel me? Like, I'm telling you what I know. It clearly, like, I'm not lying to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here. And after this, I'm gonna buy brick and mortar and have a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a stepping stone. This is teaching me how to. So I'm just telling you where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna help you. Just listen to me. I got you. Trust me. All right. So look. Like I said, just because you're an entrepreneur, whether you in the shop, whether you independent, whatever business you in, that don't mean you can slack off. Because guess what? Before I worked for myself, I worked for somebody else. And I was always getting compliments on how good of a worker I was. Before I became a boss, I was a worker. Before I was a general, I was a soldier. You feel me? Before I was a man, I was a boy. What'd he say? You have to follow before you can lead, Mr. Miles. Nah, for real. He wasn't lying. You gotta be a great follower before you become a great leader. Just remember who you follow. Like, let me show you the way to go, as Michael Jackson would say. I think the Jackson 5 made that song. Let me show you the way to go. For real though. That's real. You gotta learn to follow before you can lead. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the truth. So you have to have great mentors and you have to learn from them. Take in the advice from wherever you can get it. You never know where you can get some good advice from. Don't shut out anybody. You can learn something from somebody that you would least expect it. Always be open to great advice because you never know who can help you. Always be kind to people. No matter who it is, be kind. Because you never know who can help you. You never know who you can help. You never know what your words of kindness could do for somebody. You never know who you're talking to. So always be receptive to somebody giving you advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think you're better than somebody just because you're an entrepreneur now. Remember, you started somewhere too. So it's not like, don't get the big head once you become an entrepreneur or this and that. It's like, nah, don't forget where you came from. Real talk. Because you never know who's watching. You never know who you trying to flex on. You never know, like, you just never know. Now, if it's granted, it's granted. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, though, use discernment. You never know. So, like I said, don't slack off. You know what I mean? And always stay focused. Because even though you're an entrepreneur now, and I'm speaking to myself, you know, it's no excuse. You have to work more hours being an entrepreneur than you actually do when you're a worker, because you get a schedule. Entrepreneurs, we don't really get no days off, to be honest. It's 24/7, 365. We need to stay on the grind, you know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Not saying you ain't gonna have times when you wanna relax. You always gotta have time for yourself. I'm just saying in general, like, you know, it's a different type of grind. You need to work harder, or you need to go harder now that you're an entrepreneur than before when you was a worker, when somebody was paying you. Now you paying yourself, so it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is another thing. Even if you are in a traditional barbershop, treat it as your own. You know what I mean? Sweep up, mop, clean the bathroom, wipe off dust, wipe off the windows, clean up your clippers, wipe off the chair, scrub it down. Like, real talk. Make sure that you treat somebody else's stuff like your own, because if you don't treat nobody else's stuff right, how you gonna treat your own stuff right? And if God see you misusing somebody else's stuff, you're not gonna get the gift of your own, because God already know you don't even know how to treat nobody else's stuff. So if you are in the traditional barbershop, treat it like your own. Because when you get in here, it's all on you. Ain't nobody gonna clean up after you. You need to make sure you got your stuff put in the right place. You need to make sure everything is everything. Because your presentation for your clients is what matters. Every time somebody come in here, I get a compliment. They love it. And I'm not even finished decorating yet. You know what I'm saying? They love it. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep it clean. It's nice. It's clean. It smells good in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it look good in here. So that's all I'm saying. And every other station I ever had at somebody's shop, pristine. Clipper stay clean. Station stay clean. Chair stay clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't nothing. I'm true to this, not new to this. Trust me. I didn't get here just by talking. I got here by a lot of things. I walk it like I talk it. Let's just say that. Facts. So, yeah, that's all pretty much I had to say, you know. Excuse me. You know, just stay on the grind. Basically, no matter where you at, if you in a shop, you in a suite, or you got your own barbershop, stay on your grind, or you have your own barbershop, I should say. Stay on the grind. You know, always elevate, stay focused, stay growing. I just wanted to hit y'all with that quick video. You know, stay on the lookout for more content. It's your boy, The Fader. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.